John Force keeps that right lane as he's ready to face Mike Neff. And John Force is the subject of our Powerade Power Time as we look at a life of achievement. John Force holds just about every record in the funny car class and is on the verge of reaching another milestone, his 1,000th round win. In this Powerade Power Time, Force talks about his achievements, the people who helped him earn his success, and about how he remains so humble when he has achieved so much.
I grew up in a little trailer house with 5 brothers and sisters, and you know, my mom was a cook at Denny's. She taught me how to fry cook. My dad was a truck driver, so it only made sense that I would evolve to being a cook or a truck driver. I lived in a trailer court, in a little trailer house, and everything you got was passed down from your older brothers. And if it fit, you wore it, and if it didn't fit, you still wore it.
It's hard to even fathom what he's accomplished from what he started with. That's the biggest thing, I think, is from where he came from to get to where he's at. You know, no one gave him anything along the way.
I was good at picking the right people at the right time. Coyle was winning championships, but he was out of sponsor money. And I was able to find a little. And together we raced for 4 years. He was teaching me, and I was teaching him, and we were trying to build a team. And out of that came, you know, a car that was untouchable.
The thing is we need each other. I don't know anything about raising money, and John doesn't know anything about how to tune a race car. So together we managed to cover all the bases and get the job done.
I can't imagine my dad working with any other crew chief, and I can't imagine Austin with any other driver. It just works right with them. It's strange, but it works, and magic happens from it.
The biggest achievement, the one I sweated the most, was 10 straight. And I'll never forget it. We were right down to the wire that season, and I was sweating. Are we going to make it, Coyle? He goes, John, it's a championship. We win, we lose. I said, no, it's 10 straight.
I take a little leisurely walk through the shop and point out all the things, the trophies and the collectibles to, you know, to friends of mine. It kind of takes you back through memory lane to say, you know, wow, you know, this has really been quite a run.
At the end of your career, I guess with all the trophies and all the wins, and my 10 straight, I guess out of this, if I could be loved by the fans the most, that would be my biggest accomplishment. And I got a pretty good head start on everybody because they do love me. And I get them every now and then that beat me up. You know, I get some fan that's irate that loves Ron Capps or Gary Scelzi, and they want to beat me up and tell me how dumb I am or how stupid I am, or I tell them I still love you because the fans are why we're here. Without the fans, we don't race. It's that simple. So why wouldn't we love them the most?
So this could be the start of a great moment almost any way you look at it. For John Force, another round win, inching him closer to 1,000. It would be his 997th. For Mike Neff, the first in his funny car career.
Well, you know, Paul, I want to bring up the fact that Robert Hight, you know, when that thing spun the tires. Now, the reason most of the teams have not been choosing that left-hand lane is because of that bump at the transition at 150 feet. Remember, they have new concrete up to 150 feet, and then it's the old concrete to half track, and then they put new asphalt. They did a good job, except for that bump at that transition in the left lane. And what you want to do as a driver, when you traverse over that bump, you want to have the car squared up as much as possible. You saw Robert, the back end just sashaying a little bit, and when it hit the bump, it upset the car. Now, that's not to say it wouldn't have smoked the tires if he'd been squared up, but there would have been less of a chance of it doing it had that been the case.
John Medlin, the crew chief for Mike Neff, says that he is ready to go. Ashley Force watches on. Austin Coyle's already said that John's ready. Like the bump got another one. John Force, 997 round wins and counting.
Well, Wow, quickest run of the round. Austin Coyle, Bernard Fiedele, after struggling on Friday, they found some problems. They blamed their driver, saying he was getting too much heat in the clutch, which John did take the blame for that, and he changed his driving style as far as doing the burnout to get less heat in the clutch, which tends to make it lock up less, because they were smoking the tires. And guess what? Since he's been doing that, they've been going down the track every time. Mike Neff went up and smoked about the same place Robert Hight did, and then John Force never looked back. Let's see if we can see it. You can pretty much see the transition right there. That's at the new concrete. Hits that spot, gets a little bit of bouncing, and then shortly after that goes up into tire smoke. Could have been a situation where the bump caused that, but like I said, they'll have to go back and look at the data, compare the video, and make a determination. But the end result's the same. John Force is in the next round.
Gary Gerald has Ron Capps.
Capsy, there's all of that decision going on in the opposite lane about what lane Robert Hight was going to end up taking. What's it like for you while you're waiting for it to play out?
Well, that's the bad part about having radios. They switched lanes on us. Robert did, and I would have as well. But with the oil that Dale had put down backing up, they were missing some spots of oil out there. So my guys on the radio saying they need to come out here. They're just dragging over the oil. And Safety Safari's done. Let me tell you, taking a lot of heat over the last few weeks. And Dan Olson, my hat is off to him. If I can take it off right now, I'm going to, because him and the Safety Safari, the fans know. They know at home watching this race how good the racing is now. And track prep is back to where it used to be, and they've done a heck of a job. And I was just real worried, and so that was a huge win. Anytime you race Robert and that Force team, I know it's the John Force show with his 100,000th round win or whatever it is. And he's the reason I came to Funny Car, I want to tell you.
Thank God it ain't a beauty show. He'd win that too.
Love you, man. We love you.
Oh, we're still in there, right down that old junk lane we thought wasn't too bad.
So what was it like? You watched Robert and his struggles after they changed lanes. We heard you on the radio talking about, do we want to change again?
Well, the guys were really going over it. They didn't think they were cleaning it up. They kept yelling back over. There's still stuff in this lane. And at the last minute, they said, let Capps have it, put him over there. And Robert went to what we thought was a better lane, even though we know the bumps out there. It's going to get you in trouble. And you got to get over that bump. And it's tough. Jimmy makes big horsepower. And then when he smoked the tires, I figured Neff and them would switch me back. I even said, okay, guys, roll it. And Coyle said, wait a minute, they don't want to switch. So maybe they didn't want to run it off based on what he did. They still thought it was bad. But I ain't know. That's why I ain't a crew chief. I'm just surprised when Capps run a number that good that they didn't switch. But they have their reasons. They know their hot rods, and I don't.
Thank you, John.
Thank you.